I'm Soledad O'Brien. Welcome to Matter of Fact from New York City. The Trump administration is running out of options to detain immigrant children after a judge denied a request to hold them indefinitely. The ruling comes as the government is struggling to meet deadlines to reunite thousands of children separated from their families during the president's zero-tolerance crackdown on illegal border crossings. The chances of a political solution anytime soon look bleak, but Elizabeth Vilchis is working on a technological fix. It's so nice to have you with us. Before we get into the technology, I want to step back a little bit and talk about you personally. Is your technological fix attempts connected to the fact that you were undocumented in this country as a child? Is that what sort of has resonated with you in this story as a whole?
Absolutely. I think it's a big part of it. One of the things I remember from my own personal journey in making that crossing is that for a brief period of time, I was separated from my parents. And
how old were you?
I was 7 years old.
Oh my God.
And for me, I felt incredibly defeated. I mean, I had just left my extended family in Mexico, and then to come to a point where I was being separated from my brother and my parents, it felt that I had no one. That point at 7 years old, I was going to be alone forever. And it was only for a couple hours, and I still remember that really clearly. And so that's something that's incredibly terrifying. And to know that a lot of these children, they've been separated for months.
So when this story started breaking and people started covering this separation of massive numbers of some of them very, very small children, did you feel as a tech CEO, one, oh my gosh, this was related to my story, but two, there could be a tech solution in all of this?
Absolutely. It was that, and the fact that no one else is going to build this but us, right? For people that it matters, for people that have been impacted and understand just how much it's impacting our communities in a negative way. Nobody else was going to pick it up.
So we're looking at 2,000 children, let's say roughly,
yes.
And it seems as if the government has really done a terrible job in just taking the basic information and connecting it to the parents' information. Sort of the basics haven't even been done. Do you have a sense of where the main point of failure was?
There's definitely there's signs that they do not care. But also the government is very outdated. They don't have the type of systems to be able to capture this information. Attorneys aren't even allowed to bring any sort of recording device with them, so they have to rely on pen and paper to capture this information.
So you've created an app. Tell me a little bit about how the app would work.
Yes. So the app is a tool for attorneys to capture that information regarding the parents and the child that they're trying to find. And then on the other end, it's meant to also be a tool either to attorneys working with the children. And in capturing data from both ends, the app is creating a match using algorithms that say, hey, there's a high likelihood that this parent and this child are a match.
What's your biggest obstacle right now to this app being used widely?
Well, right now we have the app is a prototype, but we're looking to work with attorneys that are gonna help us validate the design and ensure that it's a tool that works for them and that can help them capture that data really quickly so that it can start to aggregate the information and actually make matches.
There are not a lot of Latina in tech, period. Not a lot of Latina tech CEOs. Probably you could count them on one hand pretty easily. What do you think is the obstacle there to having more Latinos in tech, especially when you consider populations? If you look at Silicon Valley, it's not like there are no Latinos in all of Silicon Valley. Where do we find them? They're there.
Right. In my own journey, I have definitely found that when I was the only one in the room, it felt like I didn't belong there, that maybe this wasn't an option for me. And so I think a lot of Latinos don't get that opportunity to feel that there is a community that exists out there. And so for us, creating a company that's visible and that is a central hub for everybody to kind of come together and continue to build in this space, it's really important.
You're a dreamer.
Yes.
And Congress has not been able to figure out anything. How are you feeling?
Yeah, you can't really rely on government to provide a permanent solution. And I think part of building this company is a way to feel empowered again, that regardless of my citizenship status, I can have an impact in my community. Should the worst happen that I'm sent away, that's just an opportunity for me to build an international brand for this company and to really scale it abroad, right? And to use every challenge that kind of comes our way as a challenge to rise up to and create something positive that's even bigger than the challenge that you overcome.
Liz Vilches, it's so nice to have you. Great luck with this app. It would be amazing to see if we could reunite some of these 2,000 children. So good for you. Thanks for talking to me.
Thank you so much.
You bet.